Tupac. It's about who did not kill Tupac. My case got messed up because all the lawyers got infiltrated. All the lawyers got sidelined. All the lawyers turned on me. When people told me that TPD's son is sending me a message, because Corey got the money for the puppy, the $1 million, they gonna find a fall guy, somebody that say like they putting up the money. I'm quite sure if they do a background check on their money, they can even afford it. But to say that, I have my own son. I'm disappointed as Keefe D as a man from Compton. One, for sending all these people to prison when it wires. Two, to have your own son run around and represent your name to do some dirty work where it's gonna get ugly. Number one, my lawyer, he wasn't my lawyer personally, he was a great friend of mine as a lawyer. He was Keefe D's lawyer. I seen the video. Keefe D cut that deal with the FBI and told on everybody and started working for him. So for Keefe D's son to run around pound his chest and say, my father is Keefe D, your father didn't tell on anybody, little nigga. Little nigga, the right nigga catch you, it ain't gonna be a little nigga no more. You ain't gonna be no more because of your daddy, little nigga. Coming to try to bring money to buy me. Because you say Puffy gave it to you, Corey gave it to you, and this person did this.
On IG and purchase a signed copy of my book. That's how you support me. Make sure you smash that like button. Go right now and follow me on TikTok at Trenches News 3837. Yo! It's your boy Trenches News, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for everyone who subscribed to the channel. If you ain't subbed to my channel, make sure you do. Make sure you join the membership. Shout out to all my mods and wrenches. Remember, if you got anything extra, I said extra, not food, hygiene, clothes, bag it up, take it outside, and give it to the less fortunate. Remember, we all one step away from being homeless. Mother Nature could come destroy everything, and now you're homeless, so make sure you get back. With that being said, let's say the women, the kids, the elderly, the neutrons, and the civilian. It's Saturday, y'all. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. Remember, CPD can't save you or your local police department, so make sure you're aware of your kids and your surroundings, y'all. All right, y'all, I got two stories for y'all. All right, y'all, first story we're talking about is Briccbaby. Briccbaby has copped out to 92 months, which is 7.5 years in federal prison. We talking about that, and we talking about THF Bezu. Now, I know we seen the camera, and it looked like they were sitting on them, but according to the worker that was there, that ain't the case, man. Somebody from the inside helped, or somebody in that parking lot helped the killers, man, with zoo location, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button so this video get around. If you got Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, y'all already know, smash that hype button and that like button. And I will be going live, man, in a few hours. Make sure y'all there with me. All right, y'all. So Briccbaby has pleaded guilty to federal charges. He had a lot of federal charges. He had like 2-3 guns. He threatened his baby mama on a wiretap. They had his phone wiretap. And then the gun on no jumper that Adam zoomed in, his boss zoomed in on for the feds. And he had a shooting too that took place in a parking lot. But he had got a sweet deal, if you want to call it sweet. He got 92 months, which is 7.5 years. So we won't see Briccbaby for at least about 6 years, man. Won't see him only on the podcast, what he do from the prison, man. But I will be taking Briccbaby off the list as number 4 in the Lil Durk and the OTF stalking murder for hire case. I don't think Briccbaby got nothing to do with it. Why you say that, Trenches News? Because if Briccbaby has something to do with that, ain't nowhere in the hell I'm finna take 7 years on this case, and I know that I'm finna have to go down for this, or I'm cooperating. You got to remember the person who number 4 is. They ain't in the public or none of that, so we don't know who they is. I don't believe it's Briccbaby. I do believe it's one of the Crips, but I don't think it's Briccbaby, y'all. But Briccbaby has copped out. He got 7.5 years to do at 85%. So we'll see Briccbaby, man. But yeah, y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think, because I know a lot of people on YouTube think that Briccbaby is the number 4, man. All right, y'all. That's what I got on Briccbaby. And his sentencing date is December 19th, man. If you want to go and check out all this information that I'm telling you, go to pacer.gov, man. You go on it yourself. Check out all the paperwork on Briccbaby, Blue Jesus, aka Blue Jesus, and you can see everything that I'm telling you for yourself. All right, y'all. Next story we talking about is THF Bezu. I had a chance to talk to a worker that worked at the car place that Zoo got killed in. And they said that Zoo was in there for like 40 minutes to an hour, to like an hour. So Zoo was there first, like I said, like the first story I said. Zoo was there first. He pulled up in an Uber. He got out. The other guys who got shot with Zoo, they came after Zoo. So somebody in that store parking lot or the other two guys who met Zoo there, they got followed. But the person said that like the police, the feds, they've been all through that, man, questioning everybody. You know, they got the full camera video, so they know when they got there, when they was there. But according to the person who worked there, say, man, the feds been leaning on all the workers there at that spot. And, you know, possibility, man, somebody jagged off their job, man, to set up Zoo. It's a big possibility. You know, Zoo is too famous to be in that spot going to pick up a part for anybody. And whoever sent them, you know, may God bless your soul, you know, but I just know that a person who knowing that Zoo in the streets ain't tell him to go and pick no damn part. But if you is in the streets and you know you got ops and shit, save the public, man. Save the kids, the public who finna be around who could possibly get killed. Like if you got ops, don't take your kids to school. Don't go to the grocery store with your baby mama and them, with your kids in the car. It's over with. All that shit over with. Once you start shooting people, robbing people, it's over with, man. All that family shit is in the crib now. It's in the crib or private events. Other than that, man, ain't none of that outside no more, bro. Like, I'm playing like I don't even know my kids and shit outside. I don't even want my guys to know they're my kids, because that's how slimy the world is. You heard me? But I will keep y'all updated, man. But according to a worker at the car spot, man, Zoo was up in there, and you know, they leaning on the workers, man. They leaning on somebody saying, like, basically somebody made that phone call on Zoo. He was there lacking. He was there too long, man. He was there before anybody, you know, before the car and before his homies them. Zoo made it there first. But that's what I got on THF Bay Zoo, man. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Last but not least, I gotta speak on the Bloodhound Q50, man. If that's that guy YFG Fesso daughter, man, you out of order, brother. You out of order. You don't play with no kids, man. And I pray on your downfall if that's his kids, man. You playing with somebody's kids, bro. You know, and to Fesso, man, hey, look, you can't even blame you can't even, you know, don't argue with him, man, because he a addict. Your baby mama, I'll cut off, and I try to get full custody of my daughter. Because she playing them type of games, man. You ain't safe. Your life ain't safe. I also want to tell you something, Fesso. Everybody who chasing you colder then, man. Just keep that in mind. Don't crash out, man. You talented than all they ass, bro. Dirt gone, man. It's a hole in the wall, bro. Get all your paper, man. Don't crash out over them crackhead bloodhounds, man. They ain't got none coming, man. They longevity another year or two, man, and it's over with. Ain't nobody listen to that shit. Yo, make sure y'all go and get life insurance. It's very important. You don't know when you gonna go, especially if you stand in the trenches, bro, and you a face, got a name, you known as a killer, woofing on the internet. Make sure you go and get life insurance, even if your kids ain't in the streets. And I ain't just talking to Chicago. I'm talking about everywhere. Your kids ain't in the street. Get life insurance, man, because it might be a mad gang banger who angry and broke, and he just walk up and kill him, man. You can bury them properly. Hey, shout out Made Media Magazine, man. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to his channel. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to his channel. Shout out Dro the Mob, man. Shout out all my mods, though. Shout out all my mods, my wrenches, and all that, man. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. Hey, make sure y'all go and watch that, like Tyrant Like Father Like Son by Bodil, man. It's a lit movie, 1 and 2, and the series coming. You know, run that up on Tubi. Hey, make sure y'all be safe, though, man. That's the most important part. And if you got anything extra, remember, man, it's the holidays coming. Make sure you give back, man, to the community, to the people in need. Hey, make sure y'all go and watch Tyrant Like Father Like Son 1 and 2. It's out on Tubi now. It's lit. Bodil, gave us something for Chicago. Make sure y'all go and follow Bodil on Instagram and see what's next, what's coming next. He do got the series like Father Like Tyrant, like Father Like Son 1 and 2 coming, man. Make sure y'all be looking out for it in March, man. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be binge watchful, and it's gonna be the real Chicago. My 9 is my 9, y'all. I'm out.
As Briccbaby brings his case to a close, we can kind of see the direction that everything is going with him. The government has released the sentencing memorandum, and based off the sentencing memorandum, you can clearly see that there has been no cooperation from Briccbaby. Now, y'all know usually I don't put my stamp on people like this, but I feel like based on what I'm seeing, I can put my stamp on this one. And if you don't know how the federal system works, then you may have missed this. But if you do, then you can see as well that the chances of Briccbaby cooperating are very, very slim to none, just based on how the guidelines were calculated. Now, before we get into that, we're going to look over this sheet that documents his crimes. And I want to do this because I think it's important with regard to people saying that he copped out on a RICO case, things of that nature. This will give you a look into his actual charges and the things that the feds got on him. If you look at this, it says over multiple months in 2023, law enforcement intercepted defendant on a wiretap of multiple Rolling 60s gang members' phones. On multiple intercepted calls, defendant was heard discussing criminal activity, including recounting murders he committed as a youth. Now, I think that they call and cap on him just because if he was actually recounting murders he'd actually done, then they would have came back and hit him with some murder charges. These would be closed cases. So they kind of putting that out there like, yeah, we heard him on here talking about some murders, but we didn't charge him, so y'all know he capping. That's kind of what they doing, but we gonna keep on going past that. In March and June of 2023, on intercepted calls, multiple people accused defendant of pointing a gun at them and even defendant's own daughter. Law enforcement then sought a search warrant for defendant's home. So this all stems, this whole case that Bricc is on right now stems from them having wiretaps and they listening. And it sounds like the most serious thing, was, hey, he got a gun right now. He just pointed a gun at me. That means they have to take action. So they swoop in, they go get a search warrant, they swoop in. While executing this search warrant, they find multiple firearms, over 120 rounds of ammunition. Law enforcement also learned that defendant shot 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July of 2022 to ward off robbers. They also charged him with that. They charged him with that shooting too. So that tells you if these murders that they were talking about were legit and solid, the information was good, they would have charged him. I'm emphasizing that because people are like, oh, how was he on the wiretap talking about murders and he ain't charged with them? Because it gotta be some substance to what you saying. You can't just get on there and say, yeah, I killed such and such, and they come pick you up, even if it's a real person that died, because they need something other than that. Chances are they got some information already that demonstrates that you're not the person. But yeah, so they find the guns, they find over 100 shells. They find out that Bricc was shooting on a parking lot years before. This is before the wiretaps even hit. Then he's hit with a fraud charge for filing for disaster assistance for some house that he's not connected to. So as they sum his charges up, y'all see that there is no racketeering charge. There is no conspiracy charge. Being a gang member does not automatically make you a part of the conspiracy, whatever the conspiracy may be. It does not automatically qualify you for the racketeering charge, as you have to be involved in the racket. So just being on a wiretap, running your mouth, talking to these guys doesn't mean that you conspiring with them to do something in furtherance of the gang. Now that we got that part out of the way, let's take a look at these guidelines calculations. This is important because it's going to show you how the government calculated up Briccbaby's points to determine the guideline range or the sentence that they would recommend for him. Now, I want to start this off by saying there are a lot of people who are in the same situation as Briccbaby as far as having federal charges and having certain types of backgrounds, but they didn't get the enhancements that Briccbaby got. And that's where my logic come from, that Briccbaby, you know, he didn't cooperate, he did his thing. Because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how they are making sure damn near every applicable enhancement gets put on him. Everything that he qualifies for, damn near they giving it to him. And that's how you know, because a lot of these guys are in the same situation and they let them slide. You got guys who get picked up by the feds and have federal gun charges in other states pending, and the feds pick them up on 2 gun charges and don't even touch the other gun charge at all. Don't even mention it at all. Now, if you look at Brick's paperwork, you'll see that he was given a 2-level increase. He started with a base level of 20. He was given a 2-level increase because he had multiple firearms. He was given a 4-level increase because he possessed ammunition in connection with another felony offense, which was, you know, the shooting on the parking lot. And he was given a 3-level decrease for acceptance of responsibility, but this is after they already gave him the other enhancements. So what they did was they gave him 6 levels and then they took 3 levels back. But they could have not gave him those 6 levels and just took the 3 levels down for acceptance of responsibility. Like I said, if you look at some of these other guys' paperwork, they possessed ammunition in connections with crime or violence, and you know, and they didn't get no enhancement. They got these guys on camera waving a gun. They got caught with 2 guns, and then they seen them with another 3 guns. 7 guns got caught all together in the whole RICO search warrant, and nobody getting all these enhancements and stuff. So you can kind of tell when a person has talked or negotiated, you know, themselves into a certain predicament. And the government does not show this favor to everybody. So before y'all get on here trying to defend certain people, this is not how it goes for everybody. And I just got to keep it real. Some people get the 2-level, 3-level decrease for acceptance of responsibility without getting the enhancements. And that's all I was trying to say. These enhancements show you that Brick is not getting any leniency. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. How much time is Briccbaby going to get? Now, as you can see here, the government is recommending a 92-month sentence. They say it's necessary not only to deter the defendant, but also to adequately deter others. So they want people to look at this situation and learn from it. Don't mess with us. They also said they don't want to be lenient. So that's another thing that tells me Brick ain't do no snitching. We done seen guys that they on camera doing shootings, got caught with guns, robbery. They get less than 92 months. We done seen guys be charged with RICO cases, be labeled a leader in the RICO situation, and they get less than 92 months. So it's pretty obvious that Brick stood firm. I'm pretty sure they offer him something where he could plead out, come home in 36 months, 24 months, some shit like that. We seen a nigga get caught with a switch in the state of New York, one of the strictest states when it comes to gun laws, and he ain't even get 92 months, you know? So with that said, man, I'm gonna put my stamp on it, man. Brick ain't told nothing. I can't allow Whack and all these other guys to keep running around here throwing this slander on the man when we can see clear as day the government not doing him no favors. You can look at the paperwork. We done seen y'all done seen people's paperwork, guys that got more convictions and stuff. Briccbaby got some convictions, but we done seen guys with multiple gun convictions, all types of stuff get hit by the feds, and they don't even get these enhancements. They ain't get enhancements for connecting and for possession ammunition in connection with the crime. They didn't get enhancement for having multiple weapons, multiple counts, none of that. With that said, though, I'm gonna wrap this one up, man. I just wanted to bring y'all this, let y'all know it is what it is, and that's what it's supposed to be. Shout out to the Bricc, man. Not for going to prison, but for standing on his business, standing firm, accepting his own responsibility, and not throwing nobody else under the bus. He ain't plead guilty to no. Y'all heard that they caught him on wiretap with multiple Rolling 60s members. And he took the plea. He pleaded out to his guns. He pleaded out to all of that, but he never said he did it in furtherance of the gang. That's what you got to be. You know, that's what y'all got to peep. And he could have done that. He could have easily went in there and, oh, man, I had them guns because the gang say we got to, it's part of our law, man. We got to ride with the strap. We got to, and just made up some way to incorporate the gang. And now it's in furtherance of the gang. And you getting 24 months because you agreed to blame it on the gang. And they get to use that against one of the higher ups. See how that go? There's none of that in there. Ain't no in furtherance of the gang. None of that. Just, man, yeah, I had some guns. On that tip, I'm going to wrap it up, though. Make sure y'all hit that hype button before y'all get up out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's your boy, Byron Blake. I'm out.
Briccbaby, Briccbaby, the brick, not the trick. Man, don't see late. God dang, the feds say they want 92 to 115 months. We're going to dig deep into this one. So let's really get into this one right here. Y'all know we got Briccbaby right here, and y'all see the sentencing memorandum right here in date. That's going to be at 9 o'clock, December 19th, 2025. And yeah, plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, first assistant United States Attorney for the Central District of California, assistant United States Attorneys Kevin J. Butler and General Jenna McAbee. Anyways, yeah, the sentencing memorandum is based upon the attached memorandum appointed authorities, the files and records in this case, and such further evidence and argument as the court may permit, dated December 5th, respectfully submitted Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, and Bilal Esley. Look how they just put his ass all the way up under there. First assistant United States Attorney. Don't worry, we got another Lil Durk video that's about to set the damn internet on fire tonight. So make sure y'all got y'all bells on, and then y'all can see all of this shit. Memorandum of Appointed Authorities. Introduction. Defendant Zaire Mitchell, defendant, has pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of firearms and ammunition seized from his home in 2023 and admitted to being a felon in possession of more ammunition he fired at others in a parking lot in 2022, as well as submitting a fraudulent application for disaster relief based on the January 2025 fires. For his crimes, the United States Probation and Pretrial Services Office, the USPO, calculated a total offense level of 23 and a criminal history category of 6, resulting in a sentencing guidelines range of 92 months to 115 months imprisonment. Pretense Investigation Report PSR 139, docket number 31, the USPO further found no bias for departure or variance from that range. The government agrees and respectfully recommends that defendant be sentenced to 92 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, no fine, and a $100 special assessment. Brick, you was trying to hit the Palisades and Eden fires for that money too, and it'd be the real when y'all be hearing people complain about the expediency of money just given out. This be the reason. Cats will see stuff like that and go, "I wonder how I can get one." The most common one that we know that's widely accepted is the PPP loans. So there's that. But goddamn, Brick, huh? It gets worse. Roll it. Defendant's crimes. Over multiple months of 2023, law enforcement intercepted defendant on a wiretap of multiple Rolling 60 gang members' phones. On multiple intercepted calls, defendant was heard discussing criminal activity, including recounting murders he committed as a youth. In March and June 2023, on intercepted calls, multiple people accused defendant of pointing a gun at them and even defendant's own daughter. I think they're talking about his baby mama. Law enforcement then sought a search warrant for defendant's home where they found 3 firearms, including an assault rifle-style firearm and over 125 rounds of ammunition. Law enforcement also learned that defendant shot 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July of 2022 to ward off would-be robbers. They found another firearm and even more ammunition when they arrested him on those charges in March 2025. Each possession followed multiple prior felony convictions, any of which alone prohibited him from possessing any firearm or ammunition. Not to mention the dangerousness and unlawful ways he was using the firearms, even if he was permitted to possess them. Separate and apart from defendant's unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, in February 2025, defendant filed an application for disaster assistance, knowingly and falsely claiming that defendant was renting a home in Pasadena, California, that was destroyed by the Eden fire. By doing so, defendant attempted to receive Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA benefits. Defendant knew, however, that he never lived in or rented a home in Pasadena and was not a victim of the Eden wildfire, which was declared a federal disaster, and was not entitled to any of the benefits or funds he sought in filing the false application. When the genuine homeowner and victim of the disaster applied for a loan, it was denied due to defendant's pending false application. Damn, that's cold. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so annoyed with people. And I always say you get what you deserve when you do shit like that, bro. Because there is no victimless crimes when you cats is out here scamming. You guys are using somebody's money. Whose money? We don't know. So now we find out, bro, you filed a bad application and there were people waiting on that money who was actually affected. Bruh, you could have just made up if you're gonna do this, you might as well make up a false damn address, bare minimum, so that nobody is affected. This be that shit where it's like bad habit upon bad habit. It is what it is. You get what you get. I don't wish him, the maximum sense and all this shit, but I'm damn sure not about to be like, damn, bruh, this is worth laughing at, because it's not. That shit, bruh, nah, I ain't feeling that one, bruh, but shit, when y'all try to scam and try to run up your money, and trust me, I know better than most how expensive LA is. But at that same damn time, bruh, nah, I can't rock with this one. But let's continue on. Guidelines calculations. The USPO and government agree that the base offense level for each count in the indictment is 20 under USSG 2K2 IA 4A, because the defendant had been convicted of a crime of violence before committing each of those crimes. We just go through penal codes. To commit a crime which will result in death or great bodily injury to another person. Then it says a conviction under California Penal Code sections 422 and 664 is categorically a crime of violence. For count 2, the USPO and parties agree that a 2-level increase under USSG 2K2 1B1A applies because defendant possessed 3 firearms. For count 1, pseudo count 2A in the PSR and USPO and parties agree that a level 4 increase under USSG 2K2 1B7B applies because defendant possessed the ammunition in connection with another felony offense, namely shooting at people from a parking lot. Finally, for defendants' fraud in connection with a major disaster and emergency benefits, i.e. pseudo counts 2B and the PSR and USPO, and parties agree to all the calculations. Specifically, the base offense level is 7 under USSG 2B1 1A1, and the resulting offense level is increased to 12 under USSG 2B1 1B 12 because the offense involved disaster fraud. Plea agreement 12. The highest total offense level of the foregoing counts is 24, which receives a 2-level increase for multiple counts. The USPO and government agree that a 3-level reduction for acceptance of responsibility applies under USSG 3E 1.1 ID 59 through 60. Thus, the total offense level is 23. The USPO and government agrees that defendant is in criminal history category 6. With the foregoing calculations, defendant's guidelines range is 92 to 115 months. They're already suggesting that he does 7 years, 8 months, or 9 years and 7 months. That's insane. That is 100% insane from a good way, because they damn near were trying to hit his ass with an enhancement, which would have been a mandatory 15. I got into an argument with a blogger. They ain't gonna bring this shit up because I spanked them in this argument. And I told them, there are so many programs that the feds give you and reduction and all of this shit, bruh. hell no. He's not gonna get that 15. And they kept telling me, you don't know what you're talking about. Bruh, you ever went to the feds? No, I got homies who've been to the feds. I don't care. You been in the feds? No. You ain't been in the feds either. You're damn right. But you know who I have that you don't? Federal lawyers. See, everybody wants to be intelligent and articulate and talk about their experiences and all of this shit. When in all candor, all you need to do is listen to the lawyers. They don't give a damn about because you got caught that make you an expert. No, it doesn't. It means your ass had to accept something and you only understood it for you. But I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Some of y'all probably like, Nash, you done sidestepped the hell out of that damn accusation that he said he got bodies. Man, is on the phone talking, bro. That wasn't real. Because remember, murder has no statute of limitations. It don't matter when you did it. And I think they ultimately caught his ass from shooting them bullets because he was doing this. He probably, I was excited on that damn hobbies, and that nigga shot that Robbie in that parking lot. Damn hobby, nigga, I the bow. I was sounding like Shetty Nash, nigga, on that news network in Sacramento. I was 6. I was like, boom, like Shetty Nash. Yeah, bro. That I think that's how they caught him for that shooting, for that one. But let's continue on. Government's recommendation: imprisonment. The court must impose a sentence that is sufficient but not greater than necessary to achieve the purpose set forth in 18 U.S.C. 3553A. The court shall consider the nature and circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant, 18 U.S.C. 3553A1. In addition, the court should fashion a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the offense, promotes respect for the rule of law, provides just punishment for the offense, affords adequate deterrence to criminal conduct, and protects the public from future crimes of the defendant. Among other considerations, 18 U.S.C. 3553A2. The government recommends that defendant be sentenced to 92 months imprisonment, which is the low end of the guidelines range. Such a sentence is sufficient, but not greater than necessary to achieve the purpose set forth in 18 U.S.C. 3553A. Nature and circumstances of the offense. The court must consider the nature, circumstances, and seriousness of the offenses. Here, the government's proposed sentence reflects the seriousness of defendant's crimes. In this case alone, defendant possessed multiple firearms on multiple occasions and over 125 rounds of ammunition, some of which he fired. First, defendant shot at would-be robbers in a business parking lot. Less than a year later, he was found with more firearms after purportedly pointing them at his partner and child. Now, that's not saying that he admitted it, but like I said in the beginning, we read this in the indictment. His BM said that happened. Each time, defendant was prohibited from even possessing firearms and ammunition, let alone so dangerously using them. Defendant then possessed yet another firearm the night before his arrest during a live stream podcast with one of his rivals, and the gun can be seen in defendant's waistband. His possession of that firearm the following day, along with even more ammunition at home with his child during his latest arrest, only further corroborates the need for a significant sentence. The defendant's crimes do not pertain only to violence and weapon possession. In his plea agreement, defendant admitted to fraudulently applying for FEMA benefits by claiming to be a renter of a Pasadena home that was destroyed in the Eden fire in January 2020. Because of defendant's false application, the homeowner who really lost his home had his own loan application denied. Wow. Defendant's crimes have consequences, first for his victims and for now himself. This is why the government is seeking a 92-month sentence. 2, history and characteristics of defendant. And I always say that word, bro. Like, y'all history be killing y'all, but we always say it this way. History and characteristics. Defendant's history and characteristics also warrant a 92-month sentence. Defendant's criminal history is decades long. His first felony possession firearm offense specifically dates back to 2009. His probation violations began no later than 2012. By 2014, he threatened a crime with intent to terrorize his victim, received a stay-away order, and blew through the court's leniency with multiple probation revocations, much like his attitude encapsulated in wiretap calls in this case and on video podcasts. As late as this year, back in 2016, he assaulted victims with a deadly weapon when he lifted his shirt to brandish his firearm, saying, "Don't fuck with me." Even his 6-year prison sentence for robbery in 2020 did not dissuade defendant from committing all the crimes in this case. All of that, which is only a fraction of defendant's criminal history, surpassing the points needed to be the highest criminal history category, and include a high-speed chase ending with defendant barricading himself inside a home on television, which defendant later glamorized in music videos, warrants the government's recommended sentence. Need for deterrence and to promote respect for law enforcement. The recommended 92-month sentence is necessary not only to deter defendant, but also to adequately deter others. Bullshit. The defendant. The sentence imposed is required to afford adequate deterrence to criminal conduct, which encompasses both specific and general deterrence. This 92-month term from imprisonment is warranted here to adequately deter defendant and others from further criminal conduct. It is longer than past sentences he has received for a good reason. Defendant's past sentences were too lenient to promote his respect for the law. What they really trying to say is, you showed your ass. They trying to say, we had a pleading heart for you. They trying to say, bro, we was rooting for you. We rooted for you. And yeah, you ain't adhere to none of this shit. So Mr. Zaire Mitchell, you got to sit it down for the long haul, buddy boy, because we already out of chances and F's to give. Once you smack our hands when we try to offer you nothing but basically consequences of your actions, hell nah. You want to know what's crazy about a whole lot of this shit? Had people just decided to sign on a dotted line to get legal firearm, a lot of this shit wouldn't even exist. If Bricc would have literally owned firearms legally, a lot of this shit wouldn't even exist, bro. But I get it. Speed, fast life. It is what it is. Let's wrap this up. Supervised release. Given the seriousness of the instant offenses, the imposition of a 3-year term of supervised release will provide a needed additional incentive for defendant to refrain from committing further crimes. In this case alone, defendant admitted to 3 separate crimes during 3 separate years, starting with a shooting and ending with a disaster fraud. His criminal history, which landed him in the highest criminal history category, is riddled with prior probation violations. A 3-year term of supervised release is sufficient, but not greater than necessary to protect the public and deter future criminal conduct. Conclusion. Defendant and his conduct are full of contradictions. God damn. Defendant purports to be a dedicated father and indeed appeared to be present caregiver for his youngest child. Defendant also kept illegal loaded dangerous firearms in her presence in multiple residences unsecured. Defendant is also a charismatic and talented public figure, but thus far, the defendant has used his gifts merely to glamorize violence, drug use, and a life of crime, and has been unable or unwilling to transition fully from that life to a productive one. It is these contradictions that demand a guideline sentence, but one at the low end of those guidelines. Thus, the government respectfully recommends that defendant be sentenced to 92 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, no fine, and $100 special assessment. So, one thing that we often do a lot of times is we try to understand, right? And it's unfortunate that people just don't want or can't, right? Either in a problem, headed towards a problem, or coming out of one, right? And he ain't know nothing. And you would think, right, that you would have a mindset of adaptability, but awareness more than ever to believe that your ass was about to leave Georgia, come to California, become known, and just had these random ass conversations, bro. You wasn't thinking, man. And this ain't no slight at Bricc. This is really just me being in a level of disappointment, because I know there's gonna be bloggers who flip this and go, "You're dissing Bricc, but y'all know each other." Man, shut up. What I'm saying is simply this: we can't really feel bad for Bricc like that. As much as we want to, you have to have a level of know, KNOW. You just have to know. But I'm more curious as to what his lawyers are going to file and basically come back with, because they're going to have to try to argue him down for 5 years. And whatever they write better be damn good. Because We ain't seeing nothing about no plea. So you can't say, well, we helped secure this victory. He told on this, he told on that. None of that shit exists. So what y'all gonna point to? That he accepted shit? That he stopped wasting taxpayers' money? Well, I hope these lawyers got something, because if they don't, shit, I might have to come up with something my damn self. Maybe I should have did in this video. Do y'all want that? Do y'all want me to kind of possibly take it a step further and suggest laws that they could use? So hold on, here we go. What they could charge, well, what they could fight with would be multiple firearms enhancements, and then the ammo with another felony enhancement. So they basically would be fighting enhancements. Then you're looking at the downward departures, talking about circumstances not taken into the account, the 5K 2.0. So basically, even the whole entire thing with the shooting and all of that stuff within the parking lot, like, where's the evidence exactly? It's only really him. They say it's on video, but what bullets were used? They never specifically said they picked up shell cases and all that. It sounds real ASAP Rally-ish. And then they can say the criminal history is too high. It's for a 1.3, and then they can go for, which they always do, is going to say his mental health, right? Because you can make a case, bruh, I can't really have no damn firearms, but people try to rob me, bruh. What was I supposed to do? Get robbed? So if y'all can use that to have it go against me, then shit, it is what it is. So basically, and this is what we said in the beginning, boy, if I nail this one, I might have to go get that bar. Because what we said was he gonna get like 5 years. We say he gonna get 60 months. No pun intended, like 60 to 72 months. So we shall see, man. I'm rooting for the best for him. But honestly, bro, it's the feds. You done already pleaded out, bro. All of that shit y'all always say when y'all locked up with the most positive spirit, bro. I'm just hoping the most positive spirit on your sentencing, and we'll see exactly what happens. Sure to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on bells to notify. Click right here for the playlist, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Remember, we're giving these away, so don't go nowhere. Keep that bell locked on. We'll have a major Lil Durk video dropping soon. I'll catch y'all in the next one.
You're now watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
All right, man. Look like we got an update on Briccbaby, man. It's easy to get in, but it's hard as hell to get out, man. It was a song that went like that, easy to get in, but it's hard to get out. Anyway, man, Trenches News, and this one is titled Briccbaby Pleads Guilty, 92 months in the feds. 92 months, man, that's a long time. Man, it's crazy. It seemed like right when a person is getting their life on track, getting their life in order, that pass will come back to hunt you, man. It'll come get you. And in this case right here, it looked like Briccbaby pass came back to hunt him. The good thing is he had action that only get 92 months. Forget about no jumper. You could go in jail just like everybody else. Get you one of these phones, and you can run you some content in jail, man. Look like Loose Cannon lost his phone privileges ever since Sharice Mills didn't left. We haven't heard or seen him on the internet. But yeah, Briccbaby, man, you could tap in with no jumper, get you one of them phones, and you could work from jail. Everybody else doing it, you could do it. But that's crazy, man. Briccbaby just had I believe a new baby who wasn't that old. She'd be 92 months. She'd be I don't know how old she is, but she'd be well old enough when you come home, man. She won't be your little baby you used to carry on your neck no more. That's the sad part about going to jail when you have kids. Leave these kids out here, man. So hopefully that woman stay down with you. Normally when a guy go to jail and get time, man, those women You know, they get lonely at night, and you got somebody with a slick mouth, man, that'll slide up under them girls, man. But long as she take care of you and do your part, you shouldn't care, man. We players. I'm gonna tell you what I do when I went to jail, and everybody, not just me, everybody when they go, the first thing they do is call their phone. Hey, look, man, you could do you. I ain't tripping. I left you out there. Do your thing. Just don't leave me hanging in here. That was the old rules. But anyway, we're gonna get to this trenches news, man. But before we do that, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's check out this, man, and see what's going on with Bricc Baby. All right, man, let's run over the trenches news, man, and see what's going on. Let's go.
All right, y'all. So Bricc Baby has pleaded guilty to federal charges. He had a lot of federal charges. He had like 2-3 guns. He threatened his baby mama on a wiretap. They had his phone wiretap. And then the gun on no jumper that Adam zoomed in, his boss zoomed in on for the feds. And he had a shooting too that took place in a parking lot. But he had got a sweet deal, if you want to call it sweet. He got 92 months, which is 7.5 years.
All right, let's start right there. 7.5 years, 92 months. What do y'all think? Y'all think that was a sweet deal, or y'all think that was just, man, that's all he probably had on the table? If he would have played with that, he probably would have got more time for all those guns. And I remember everybody was on the internet saying Bricc Baby got caught with this. He got caught with that type of gun. He got caught with some of these. That's what they said. But that was back, what, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, everybody was talking about that, and they was wondering what happened to that case. Well, they probably had something else on him. Let's hold him. Wait a minute. Don't charge him right now. Let's crack him for this and see if he give us some information on that, because they already know ahead of time what they going to do. They already knew that all this was going to happen. So a lot of people might have jumped the gun saying, what happened to them charges? A lot of people was worrying about Bricc Baby catching those charges. Now we see that he getting charged now. Let's go.
So we won't see Bricc Baby for at least about 6 years, man. Won't see him only on the podcast, what he do from the prison, man. But I will be taking Bricc Baby off the list as number 4 in the Lil Durk and the OTF stalking murder for hire case. I don't think Bricc Baby got nothing to do with it. Why?
He don't. Because if he did, they would have had him. They would have charged him with that too. He would have came up, man. They talking about the guy Bezu after this, the guy who got unalived in Chicago, that was part of all this Lil Durk stuff and all that. The one that got unalived at the Pick You part. So they're gonna talk about that next. But let's check out some more of this Bricc Baby stuff.
You say that, Trenches News, because if Bricc Baby had something to do with that, ain't no way in the hell I'm finna take 7 years on this case, and I know that I finna have to go down for this, or I'm cooperating. You gotta remember, the person who number 4 is, they ain't in the public or none of that, so we don't know who they is. I don't believe it's Bricc Baby. I do believe it's one of the Crips, but I don't think it's Bricc Baby, y'all.
What do you mean you believe it's one of the Crips? Who said that? Who said that, man? Boy, hey, that's crazy, boy. Y'all, boy, this internet gonna get you every single time. I don't know what he talking about. Y'all know what he talking about? Leave in the comment section. I might be wrong. I don't know every single thing. We just doing a reaction to my boy Trenches News. Let's get back to it.
But Bricc Baby has copped out. He got 7.5 years to do at 85%.
Woo.
So we'll see Bricc Baby, man. But yeah, y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think, because I know a lot of people on YouTube think that Bricc Baby is the number 4, man. All right, y'all. That's what I got.
All right, so we Bricc Baby got 7 years, man. I think that was a sweet deal. If he was on that RICO and he knew he didn't have no way out of this, I think it was a deal. Now, if he took that deal knowing that he got another case hanging over his head, then he's crazy. They probably told him, listen, man, you ain't got to worry about that over there. Take this 7 years, you be good. 7 years with 85%. He more than likely gonna do 6 years and probably 8 months or something like that, or probably 6.5, something like that. We don't know, but that's a long time, man, from being out here. This is why I'm telling y'all, man. I don't want to start preaching none of that, but this is why I be telling you, young cats, it's cool to want to have money. It's cool when you go on Instagram, YouTube, and you see all these guys with these big old chains on, the cars, the women, the music videos, and they counting the paper stacks, and you want some of that. I understand you want some of that. Some of y'all get up in these streets, feel like you got to go move some weight, feel like you got to hit some licks. You got to do all that to get your paper. Nobody want to go to work no more. You don't hear nobody talking about work. You don't hear that no more, man. Nobody want to stack their chips up. Everybody getting high, getting drunk, and there's nothing wrong with getting high. I don't want to make it seem like I'm targeting dudes that might have smoked that weed. And we ain't talking about that. But if you out there on that meth, man, and on that other stuff, man, that's where you're going wrong at. But for the ones that's out there trying to get
you is in the streets and you know you got ops and shit, save the public, man. Save the kids, the public who finna be around who could possibly get killed. Like if you got ops, don't take your kids to school. Don't go to the grocery store with your baby mama and them, with your kids in the car. It's over with. You want to support me? Go to
Pollination, bro. Oh, pollination. I want that honey, no pollination. So is that what keeps your relationship? That definitely helps.
All right, boom. So it looks like Bricc then got caught up with all these wiretaps. They listened to a lot of the pods where he's saying certain things about the Blicks. It looks like they got him, man. He's gonna have to sit for about 8 years, man. It's just crazy. And it's really showing, like, you know, what Compton Rick Rock said. Right when somebody tries to get on the right path and things are going good, they past comes back to bite them in the ass, man. So free to Bricc, man. I hope maybe some way he could appeal, but I feel like I don't know, man, because they have so many different things on them. These wiretaps, a lot more stuff than they had before. These audio clips from the podcast and shit, man. Crazy, but shout out to Trenches News, Brian Blake, Compton Rick Rock.
Therapeutic experience for me. There's like I got to get a lot of things off my chest that I've been holding dear, like, and was.
And Seti Nash, man.
Like the platform where I hadn't gone to therapy for a while. I still haven't gone to therapy. So this is your therapy. It essentially, like, I mean, it kind of is, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think that me and Adam recently were talking about like that.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Blake, Compton Rick Rock, Seti Nash.
Who's like he's a Crip from LA. He used to be a popular rapper. Then he had some really crazy shit happen to him, but his whole face is tatted, and he's this gnarly dude. And Adam was interviewing him.
Oh yeah, we didn't go to Wig TV, man.
God, yelling at Adam, like crying, and he's like talking about Nipsey and all this, and then we're talking about it afterwards, and I was like, bro, like this was like his therapy. You understand that? Like, he hasn't had anybody in a professional capacity talk to him about how he truly feels and what's really going on, and give him like the space to hold that, and that. So I was like, damn, it kind of reminded me of me over here with you. And then I recently saw that you became a cat daddy.
It's actually my third cat.
Okay, so yeah, shouts to all your. This I adopted 2 cats. This is my cat's favorite food. So I bought this from the liquor store at Amigo Market around the corner.
Frisky pate.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
It's for my dog Kirkland.
He's gonna love that, dude. Kirk's gonna love that so much. Good Kirkland, dude. We were just speaking about a different Kirk earlier too. Wow. Let's take a shot. Well, cheers, my guy. Salud.
Man, like,
it's interesting to me because I feel like you come on here and talk about stuff that I don't see you talk about on No Jumper. Why is that?
Because I don't have the full autonomy to do so. It's not that so when I'm on the No Jumper show, it's Adam's show.
Yeah.
I can't have main character syndrome and make it all about me. They focus on me quite a bit because I'm like, my dysfunction is pretty interesting to people and things like that. And I'm obviously have the best takes on rap music of anybody in the world. So of course,
the great mentality.
You know what I mean? Like they want to clue into that at times as well. But it's not about me. And if I try to just lament too much, then it becomes off-putting to the viewers, and it's not my show. And then when the other shows that I'm on have a little bit more wiggle room, because I tend to be, if it's not Adam, I'm pretty
All
much
right,
gonna
boom,
be
y'all. I was trying to
So
find it, but I think he might have took it down, man. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody
know the most
whose
have the most
content that I
experience.
use.
And, I won't even say it's
Give them
based
an
on how it
applause.
works. I'm reliable.
That's to everybody whose content I use. Shout out to everybody's content I use. And we gonna be off to the next one, man. Follow me on Kick, Twitch, Discord, IG, TikTok. Hype the video, share, hit that notification bell so I know y'all still there, so I can throw it 2 minutes in the air. We gone.
And I still don't. It's not a